The Olympic opening ceremony in Paris is less than a month away, and for the first time this year, breakdancing will be a part of the Games. But people in the know call the sport breaking. Breaking got its start at block parties and clubs in the Bronx in the 1970s when DJs would take breaks in hip-hop songs and string them together so that people could dance to extended riffs. One of the leading voices in the sport of breaking is Bboy Crumbs Counts. He's a b-boy, as they're called, who's waiting to hear if he'll be a judge at these Olympic Games. Donnie, hi. Welcome.
Hey, Peter. Thanks for having me, man.
Sure. So how big is this moment for a sport that got its start just a few decades ago at these New York City block parties? Now it's on the verge of its Olympic debut.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, if you look back, I don't remember exactly what year, but it was in the earlier 80s, mid 80s. They had b-boys in the performance in the Olympics, like I believe the opening. So we got to see it on that Olympic stage, but now we're finally getting to see it in its raw element, the battle element of it, competition-wise. The world's going to get to see what we've been doing for the past 40 years, in these worldwide competitions.
I'm sure a lot of people are just like me. I've seen breakdancing on street corners in cities around the country, but I don't know actually much about how it works as a sport. So what does someone new to breaking need to know when they tune into the Olympics later this month?
They need to know that they're going to see something they'd never seen before, like defying the art of the body, physical connection with the music. I mean, there's so many elements to what we do that set us apart from everything else. It's hands down the most dynamic dance there is, and I believe that's why it's in the Olympics.
The competition itself, it won't be like gymnastics where an athlete goes out and then does a solo routine one at a time to this set piece of music. I want to bring in 𝗕𝗍𝐿 Choi, one of the 4 American competitors headed to Paris, and this is 𝗕𝗍 speaking with NBC News.
So it's actually like 1 versus 1 on stage, and there's like a conversation that happens. Sometimes we actually talk to each other, and we talk a little smack, and sometimes it's just like respectful, but you're like vibing off of each other when you're up there.
How would you describe how these feuds or like competitions take place? And also, I understand it's all improvised.
Yeah, 100% improvised. We don't know what music the DJ is going to play. Sometimes people totally freestyle. Sometimes they do have set movements. Sometimes they do a mixture of both. The music really dictates what's going to happen. This is a real game of physical chess, these breaking battles. If you go in there trying to be super rehearsed, the judges are going to see right through that. The crowd can see it too. And you're probably not going to connect to the music as well as you would if you would just let yourself be free and flow into those signature moves that you have and the elements of breaking, right? This is a dance first in art form.
So one dancer goes and then the other one kind of responds to what they just saw?
Yeah, if it's a one-on-one, we do have crew battles too. There's more than just one-on-ones, but in the Olympics, it's going to be one-on-one. That's what the general public is going to see first. So it's usually like a 3-round battle. So each breaker will get 3 rounds back to back to back. One goes, the other responds. It's a question and answer game. In the finals, it's usually 5 rounds.
Let's talk about the moves. Top rock, by the way, this is all new to me. Top rock, these are the upper body moves. Down rock, when you get closer to the floor. There are freezes and then power moves when you flip or spin on your head. What's the most elite move in the sport right now?
You're absolutely right. The foundation is top rock. Go downs, going from the top to the floor, transitions, footwork, freezes, power moves, and later what I call future foundation. We got elements like sweeps, threads, back rocks, and stacking, which is an element that I personally brought into breaking. That's like one of my biggest contributions. It's an element of breaking where you're just upside down, feet never touch the floor, and you're stacking your body up and down from your handstand to your forearm, to your shoulder, to a baby freeze, to your head, back up and down, and mixing it with all the elements of breaking at the same time. So,
well, forgive the personal question, but like, how stacked are your biceps and shoulders?
Oh man, I've always been in great shape. You know, when I started, I loved doing one arm handstand freezes, and I was developing this stacking style. So it just made my upper body really strong. But more than the biceps and the shoulders, it's the core, right? Like people go and lift weights and they get strong, but this is a different kind of strength. This is functional, flexible muscle, right? So this is to throw your body around effortlessly. So it's not really smart to get too big.
Well, listen, I want to play some music here, and I want you to imagine that you're a competitor in the Olympics, and you hear this music. So what's going through your head? It's you and the other B-boy there in the competition. What kind of choices do you start making?
Well, me personally, I'm an assassin. When I break, like, I go for the kill, cutthroat. So hearing a classic track like that is just gonna get me hype, set me on fire, and just ready to attack while still enjoying the beat and having fun and playing this game, right? And enjoying the art form. So it's a mix of emotions, if you will, but you got to keep yourself in check and, you know, be able to do the best you can do in that moment, because anything can happen, and just the slightest little detail can cost you a win or a loss.
How do you judge it? Because I imagine, like any dance, to some degree, it's subjective, isn't it?
Very subjective. And that's why, you know, we have structured the judging system so much over the decades, because, you know, maybe even 10 years ago, the judges would just point left and right, you know, very subjective. So now on the Olympic platform and big events like this, the judges all have an iPad with 5 faders, 5 categories that we judge on, which are technique, vocabulary, originality, execution, and musicality. Each of these elements account for 20% of the score. So now the judges are forced to look at everything and be objective rather than just what they like and being subjective. You get me? So this really cleans it up a lot. And there's 9 judges. Somebody can always be wrong, but the majority will get it right.
Adding breaking to the Olympics, you know, was meant to appeal to a younger generation of audiences. I wonder what you think of that. Do you think this will draw people into the sport?
Absolutely. I mean, listen, people have not seen breaking in its rawest form, and they're about to see it for the first time in the Olympics. Now, we've had movies, all the movies show it, music videos. I've been in the entertainment industry. I've done all of that for 20 years. But all they do is chop it up, and you don't even recognize it anymore. So nobody has really seen the full effect unless you've been to a breaking competition anywhere around the world. Then you know. If you're in the scene, you know what it is. But the general public, they're about to get a great surprise.
And before we let you go, what's the one name you're looking at as a potential gold medal winner?
Oh, wow. That is very tough. You know, I am most likely going to be one of the judges in the Olympics, so I can't answer that because I can't show any bias. And but I'll tell you this. The 16 B-boys and the 16 B-girls that made it, they went through the gauntlet all year through the Olympic circuit, and they are the top, the cream of the crop, and all of them have their own individual unique style, and it's just going to be amazing. On any given day, anyone can win. Like, it changes daily, right? So it's just going to be interesting.
The sport is making its debut at the Paris Olympics in just a few weeks. 𝗕𝗓𝐂 Crumbs is a B-boy and a breaking judge. 𝗕𝗓𝐂, thanks so much. Take care.
Oh, thank you for having me, Peter. Really appreciate it. We appreciate the support. Thank you.